Hi, and welcome back to Omni Edition Garden City. I'm Dan York, and as we promised up front, Dan Plamondon is with us. He is the supervisor of the Garden City Civic Arena and the recreation supervisor also for the city of Garden City. Welcome back to the program.
And thank you for having me.
We want to talk about some of the programming that is going on in the Parks and Recreation Department, both the winter programming that we're currently in the midst of, as well as the spring and summer programming that will be coming up very soon. Let's go back 6 months or so. When the millage attempt failed here in Garden City, and with the budget deficit the city was facing, the mandate came down that the Parks and Recreation Department could not exist unless it could totally fund itself.
Correct.
And currently, that's where we stand?
Correct. When the millage was not approved by the voters, the budgeting for the Parks and Recreation Department was predicated on a zero fund balance. Everything we spend out, we recapture through revenues. That goes all the way down to basketball participations through elementary kids, all the way up to my salary to oversee the department. We've downsized in a lot of areas and made some cutbacks and reorganized our functions and how we run the department with the plan and the intent of trying to keep our core mission intact of offering programming for a diverse age group. So with the tough times, we've been able to make those changes and make some adjustments in how we go about our business. It's still a challenge, but I feel confident that we're still doing a sufficient job and an effective job in doing that.
So when you say we've made adjustments, does that mean there are some programs that no longer exist that did a year or two ago?
There are some programs. The way we do business, and this is for example, with the after-school program, we would allow kids to try out for a team and then collect money. The days of doing that are just not realistic. To build a program and run a program, parents need to pre-register for those programs so we can build that program with having the money to structure it. So there are fall sports, there's fall programming that did not go. We did not have enough signups. The elementary girls programs did not go, and that is a result directly of the changes in our department.
And that's basketball?
And that's girls basketball in 5th grade through 8th grade.
Okay.
So we've had to make some changes. There are some programmings that have adjusted with the changes. We do have boys basketball that's going on right now, and we have good numbers. There has been a dip in registration, but we still are offering programming for the kids of Garden City.
And we'll come back to that in a minute, but for the boys basketball, that's what, 5th grade through?
8th grade.
8th grade? All right, so that's junior high and some elementary school.
Yes.
All right, so as it stands now, and we will clarify that money does come out of the general fund initially into the Parks and Recreation Department, but as it stands now, all programs are reimbursed back to the general fund, so it's a wash, it's a zero balance.
Yeah, essentially July 1st, Parks and Recreation was forced to become a business. Years ago, as recent as last budget year, there were programs that were subsidized by the general fund. That is no longer an option. Everything we run either 100% covers its costs or we make a profit. Okay. Very few programming that we do right now in Garden City makes a profit, but we do cover our costs.
And that includes your salary?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep, my administrative time in running the department with the lone staff member left in Parks and Rec, as well as revenues that is captured, help keep programs running.
Okay, so there's zero money contributed, and that's where there's some nuance here, but there is zero money in the end run that comes out of the general fund.
Correct.
All right, very good. Let's talk about some of the programs, some of the facilities, something that people may have seen recently if they were watching city council meetings or read the newspaper, that there was a need, but not an immediate need, but a need to replace your cooling tower for the Civic Arena.
And I will clarify that it is an immediate need. It's an original piece of equipment when that structure wasn't closed. It was installed in 1979. It's a 32-year-old piece of equipment, and it's what I would consider one of our core components of keeping the ice cold. There's a number of things that keep that building running, but without the cooling tower, the ice will melt. As drastic as that sounds, yes, we would lose our ice and we would lose our business because teams and users of that building would essentially just pack up and go if there's no ice.
And when I said not of urgent need is because it's currently functioning.
Correct.
It wasn't broken and the rink wasn't shut down. This is a preemptive move to make sure that the rink doesn't get shut down.
Correct, yep, and that's the most important thing. We've created an operation at the ice rink over the last year where we cover our costs. and we want to maintain our user groups and a facility for the community and the surrounding area. We do get a lot of participation from the surrounding area. We want to keep that building going, and there's components of that building that are aged. And little by little, we're hoping to replace those pieces of equipment, whether it be through revenues or through grant money, which this project is funded through the Wayne County Parks Millage Fund. This is not general fund tax dollars that's purchasing this equipment.
But this is also not being covered then by the fees generated by the ice arena.
That's
in this
correct.
Case.
That's correct.
Okay. And this is money that was going to be used for the pavilions, is that correct?
A portion of it was going to be used for the main pavilion at City Park. That money has been reallocated to the ice arena as a more pressing item that we're going to move forward with.
All right, and this money came through Wayne County and more directly came through the efforts of Diane Webb, our county commissioner.
Absolutely. It's the Parks Millage monies which all taxpayers pay into. We all pay into it, regardless of what community we live in. And those monies that go to the county get allocated back out to the cities within Wayne County.
And not so much in your tenure, obviously, too, but as long as I've been here, Garden City has never really received much money back from the county when it came to parks funding. So this is nice that we're receiving some of our own tax dollars back.
Absolutely. And with this particular item, I approached Diane Webb myself and inquired about Parks Millage monies for this budget year. She informed me there was monies available, and I expressed a desire to use those monies for the ice rink. We worked collaboratively together with her office and the Wayne County office and the city offices to make this happen, and I'm excited to get it going.
All right, let's talk about some of the programs at the Civic Arena.
Okay.
Now, there have been changes at the Civic Arena in programming too, correct?
Correct. Some of the main changes that we have, last summer we installed black lighting in the ice arena, and we offer a program which is called our Glow Skate. It's a Saturday night ice skating program. It's essentially public skating with the bright lights off and black lighting on. It's been a tremendous hit at our ice rink. It's a 2-hour program on Saturdays from 7:30 to 9:30. We charge the same fee that we charge for public skating, $4 for adults, $3 for kids, and $2 for rental skates. And our concession stand has kind of jumped on board with it too. They've went out and purchased some glow necklaces and different items, different paraphernalia that the kids can wear while they're on the ice. And it's been a fantastic hit. The kids love it. So we've been getting a great turnout for it.
And that's every week on a Friday?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30. So,
okay.
Yep. So
if you could get some of the old glow pucks from Fox, you could have glow hockey.
There we go. There's got to be plenty of those left. So, yep.
And now public skating, as much of it as we used to have or not?
No, we've cut back, and this is another result of the millage shot down from back in May. As a result of the changes we've had to make, we've downsized the number of days that we operate. The ice rink is closed on Sundays for what I would consider open programming, your public skating, your drop-in hockey. Those are programs that we can't be guaranteed a certain chunk of revenue to keep the building open. Public skating is only offered on Saturdays from 1:30 to 3. In the past, it was offered Saturdays as well as Sundays. So we have made some modifications there.
Okay, I'll play the devil's advocate. Why no public skating during the week?
Mostly because we have contracted ice through Garden City Hockey Association and different neighboring hockey associations. We have guaranteed contracted ice that basically supports the ice arena being open Monday through Saturday, really 3 o'clock till about 11 or 12 in the evening.
Okay.
So,
all right, one of the programs that has been there as long as you've been there, and maybe before you, I don't know, a Sticks and Pucks program. Explain that.
Correct. The Sticks and Pucks program is what I call open gym, but it's for hockey players. Essentially, hockey players of any ability, any age, are invited to come out. All you need is a helmet, a hockey stick, pair of gloves, and skates. Full pads are not required. We basically put all of our nets on the ice and throw some pucks and just let the kids shoot around. There's no pickup games allowed. It's not an opportunity for a coach to bring his kids out and practice for a reduced rate. It's $8 for an hour and a half, which is pretty competitive in the area. And we offer it on Saturdays from 3 to 4:30, as well as Fridays from 5:30 to 7. And that's been a good program for us.
Okay. Now, are we still able to offer drop-in hockey?
Yes, we have drop-in hockey. Our weekday drop-in hockey program is offered Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 12:45. That program and that time slot has been around in this community, to my knowledge, well over 25 years.
Okay.
And some of the guys that skate in that program have been there since day one. We also have drop-in hockey on Saturday nights from 9:30 to 11, right after our glow skate.
And as always, goalies are free, right?
Yes, goalies are free, yes. And the cost is $10. Okay. The price of that program has gone up as a result of the millage from 2011. The only program at the ice arena that has not been affected fee-wise at the ice arena is public skating. We've kept public skating fees intact. That's the core of any ice arena.
Sure.
You want anybody who wants to come try out the ice rink to come out and try it for an affordable rate.
Is public skating a money loser for the city?
No, the way we structure it, essentially you schedule it in the middle of ice rentals. You have a contracted group in the front and the back end. So staffing is going to be there regardless. We're not going to melt the ice for an hour and a half to open back up. We're not going to turn the lights off. Essentially, we can be guaranteed a certain amount of revenue for it to be justified.
Okay. Now, in recent years, the ice arena had been a 12-month operation, or at least an 11-month operation.
Correct.
Back years ago, they'd even melt the ice in the summer. Are we back to closing in the summer now?
Yes, and this is another result of the millage from last year. After our ice show, our figure skating ice show in May, we will turn the compressors off and let the ice melt. We'll save a tremendous amount of money on overhead, utilities, and other costs associated with running the rink. And then around first part of August, we'll start putting the ice back in. We've got contractors lined up to help with that process. And essentially, we'll save money by taking the ice out.
Now, we have a sand-based system, is that correct?
Correct.
Where in the past we had a cement system, they took that out, put in new cooling equipment, and sand over top of that. Is that problematic with this sand system to melt the ice and refreeze it?
It can be, but in the end, the energy savings of having a sand base over concrete are going to be more advantageous to a rink. It provides a truer sheet of ice. It's going to be more cost effective for the refrigerant to come through sand as opposed to a slab of concrete. But to answer your question, when we melt that ice, we have to see what condition the sand's in. We have to level it, make sure we have a level playing field, a level foundation, and then we can start building ice and layers of water and building it up to get that sheet of ice where it's playable.
Okay. So how long does that take, by the way?
The thawing process can take anywhere from, depending on if Mother Nature's cooperating with us, sometimes we open the doors and get some help from there.
Yeah.
It could take, maybe anywhere from a week to maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
And how much to put it back in? How long to put it back in?
I would say if we're working around the clock, which a lot of rinks do, to be aggressive and get it in, we can put it back in, and I would say maybe 5 to 7 days.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So it does take a little bit of time.
It does, absolutely.
All right, now we talked about the fact that the girls' basketball program in the fall was unable to run. The boys' basketball programs are running.
Correct.
Let's talk about your after-school programs in general, because there's more than just those two programs, right?
Yep. Current program that we have right now, it started this week. We have what we call our boys' varsity basketball program. That consists of 5th and 6th graders. In the past, there was boys' junior varsity as well as boys' varsity. We've merged those two programs because of the participation numbers. We have that program in place that takes place Thursdays at the Burgess Center. And then we have our middle school boys hoops program, which is 7th and 8th grade, and those two grades have always played together. Okay. And one program that I did want to mention that we've lost as a result of the changes in the city is our freshman basketball program. The freshman basketball program was for boys and girls in 3rd and 4th grade. That used to be held at the Maplewood Community Center. That was a Saturday morning program. Maplewood Center is not open on Saturday mornings anymore, so we're not able to offer that programming. So that's a change that people in the community have noticed. There's not a 3rd and 4th grade basketball program anymore because of the changes. So we just have to live with that and hope that we can make some changes down the road. Okay,
now I know you have a basketball camp coming up, is that correct?
Correct. It's more of what I would call a drop-in clinic. We have a gentleman named Coach Steve Moreland. He's from the surrounding area. He's been doing summer camps in this area for the past 13 years. He has impacted over 27,000 kids in this area. He's worked with professional basketball players from Chauncey Billups to Penny Hardaway, that used to play for the Magic back in the day. And he has some association with the Detroit Pistons. He'll be doing a camp at the Garden City Middle School on Tuesday, February 21st from 7 to 8:30. 6:30 to 8:30. And We're asking kids in grades 1st through 8th grade, boys and girls, to contact Parks and Recreation, 793-1882. Leave their name and phone number and let us know if they're going to participate. And the cost is $20. For anybody that participated in this program last year, I can assure you that they had a tremendous time. This guy commands the attention of whether it be 5 kids or 100 kids, and he'll work on everything from shooting to dribbling to passing to endurance to everything that's required to be a good basketball player. And we're excited to have Coach Steve out. He's a great guy, and he's terrific with the kids.
All right, so that's February 21st. They need to register in advance for that program?
We like to get a head count so we know what he needs to bring to that clinic.
Okay.
Kids can show up the night of, but we highly encourage you to sign up in advance and let us know.
Okay. And you have drop-in basketball clinics also?
Correct. That's another new program that we're starting next week. It'll take place Thursday nights at the Berger Center from 7 to 8:30. It's $5, open to boys and girls, grades 3 through 6. And we'll have our after-school coaches there on site to help out any of the kids with anything they want to work on. So we're excited to have that program going.
All right, and on the sheet I have in front of me, you also have what's called Start Smart Basketball. Explain that.
Start Smart Basketball is a national program where the curriculum is pre-developed by an organization called the National Alliance for Youth Sports. This is a program where we call it Teach the Teacher. Parents, mom or dad, are required to help out. It's for boys and girls ages 3 to 5. It's you receive a kit that we give to the kids. It has a little junior basketball and some cones, a little mesh jersey, and we have the kids and the parents in the room together where we're doing different skills and just incorporating a lot of fun and fun activity into the hour. That'll take place on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 at Berger. We're signing up for that program right now. So contact Parks and Rec for more info.
All right, and on the day that we're taping this, the Tigers have just signed Prince Fielder. The weather outside hasn't been much like winter.
Yes.
And before you know it, it will be time for the softball program again.
Yeah. Softball is one of our bread and butter programs for Parks and Rec. Without the adult softball program, Parks and Recreation right now in these tough times would have a hard time continuing. So we are doing softball signups for our spring session. We will start that in mid-February. Last year we had over 140 teams sign up in over 3 sessions. We offer league play 6 days a week. In the past we offered it 5 days. So now we're offering a new Sunday league, men's and co-ed. And our Sunday league, it does have a reduced fee, so we're hoping we'll generate some new interest there. And we're also offering online credit card payment through PayPal. That's something we've never done before. You've always had to come in the Parks and Rec office on our limited time that we're there to register. So we're offering online payments.
And obviously, if you have limited hours, that's one of the things that will help get people involved and be more convenient for them, hopefully.
Absolutely. So we do encourage anybody that's interested in registering a team to contact us about the program. Get the information so you can put your team together. You can come in and make that payment. We do get a lot of phone calls. Hey, I don't have a team. I just want to be placed on a team. We don't have a program in place for that, but we always refer those people to other teams that might be looking to add players.
Sure, absolutely. And then I think you told me, and if you mentioned it here, I apologize, about 140 teams last year?
Correct. And that's over the span of league play taking place from mid-April through mid-November. So we really stretch out.
Mid-November?
Mid-November.
Woo!
Yeah.
We got lucky this year.
Yeah, and last softball season was very tough with a lot of rainouts. So a lot of times we're making up games on Sundays and tacking them on at the end of the season. So anytime there's a dry day, we're more than likely we're playing.
So these are 3 seasons, I assume, to get that depth?
Correct. Yeah, we do a spring program, a summer, and then we do a fall, we call fall ball, and that's more of a reduced program. We don't offer as many games. So
boy, we used to play into November when I used to play softball in Detroit, and I thought that was miserable, just like November 1st.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, we talked about the pavilions, so people don't get the wrong impression. They're not falling down because we diverted the money over to the cooling tower, correct?
Correct, yeah. Our pavilions are still open for rent in City Park. We have 1 large pavilion and 3 small pavilions. There is a small fee increase due to the millage changes that we had from last year. Parks and Recreation, which is now located at the Ice Arena. In the past, people would go to the Maplewood Center. Now you have to come to the Ice Arena. We are only open 3 days a week, so a lot of times we do get phone calls, people wanting to come rent pavilions. We're only open Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, similar to City Hall.
Okay.
We do answer our phones 5 days a week if I'm there, if I'm in the office or not down on around the ice. So if anybody's interested in hosting a high school reunion or family reunion or whatever the case may be, contact us. We'd love to have you in the park.
And people, I guess, need to understand they might not even realize that the pavilions are reserved.
Correct.
That it's very unlikely you could just show up, at least in the evening or on a weekend,
correct,
and just set yourself up in a pavilion. That you do issue permits, and there is a little bit of a charge.
Correct, and that's the advantage of coming to the Parks and Rec office and reserving a pavilion. You're guaranteed that space. We're going to have staff go around in the morning and tidy it up a little bit before you show up. We're going to give you trash bags. We're going to give you bathroom access, and you're going to have that space guaranteed. There's a lot of people that use that park informally, and if you want to have an event, it's highly encouraged you reserve that space.
Now, you mentioned the restrooms. Mm-hmm. The log cabin recently torn down.
Correct.
The pool has been filled in. I haven't been over there in a while. I assume it's filled in by now.
Correct.
But we did keep the building with the pool. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. There's restroom facility in 2 spots in City Park. The ice arena bathrooms are always open to the general public. Right now, 6 days a week because we're closed on Sundays, but the pool house bathrooms were left as part of the demolition from the pool. So the pool house bathrooms are still there for park walkers, dog walkers, pavilion users, etc.
All right, and again, if people need to get more information on this, obviously they can get it from the website, www.gardencitymi.org/parks.
Correct.
Okay. And if they need to call the Parks and Recreation and ask more questions, your phone number is?
734-793-1882.
Very good. Mm-hmm. All right, Dan, well, I want to thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with your projects.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have more Omni Edition Garden City right after you watch this.